Hey YouTube. It's been a while, hasn't it? You've probably been wondering where I've been. And well, I've been here, on this island, doing my own thing. Well, that's partially true. As you can obviously tell, this is a brand new island. So where I've actually been is Twitch, streaming on and off for the past however many years. And my last YouTube upload was about 2 years ago now, and even longer before then. And quite frankly, the YouTube is kind of like old at this point. All of the videos are outdated. Even the logo is outdated. I don't use those colors anymore. But by the time I upload this video, I hopefully will have updated some of that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm starting this series. I'm calling it a series because what I effectively want it to represent is sort of a story. Kind of like a journal where I keep these audio logs, let's call them for now, where I'm essentially going to be developing this island, but at the same time archiving and collecting my thoughts throughout the course of this entire video series. This very first video will pretty much just be set up kind of how we're setting up the island here at the beginning of the game. There will be a few tasks that I need to do, and I hope that I can communicate those tasks as well verbally through the purpose of this video. And so I want to start off with essentially where the YouTube started, or where all of this started. Just me wanting to do any of this. And the answer to that is effectively like just my relationship with video games and just playing them all my life. And, you know, I'm clearly one of many people on this planet that enjoy video games. So what's special about that? Well, nothing, to put it short and clearly. But what I want it to mean to me is what amount of effort is required of me to see something like this through. Animal Crossing is one of the first games I sort of fell in love with back on the GameCube, the very first Animal Crossing. And if you're a fan of the series, if you've played these games before, even if you've just played New Horizon, you understand that this is a game that sort of goes on depending on the actual day in real life. Every day is something that you could possibly do. You can get on the game, you can talk to different villagers, you can find new items, you can do all sorts of things on a daily basis. I'm going to be playing this save file on and off. Like, I may or may not play this off camera, but for the most part it'll be on camera here with you. And so, as you can see, the island is sort of like brand spanking new. It's a little messy. There's weeds everywhere. I want this to represent the sort of work that I'm putting into both this channel and my future projects and endeavors. I want it to represent the feeling of coming back here every week and sort of unpacking all of my thoughts and emotions and plans for the future. I want to have some retrospective on where I've come from and what I've seen and what I've learned. And hopefully you're down to come along for the ride so that we can both grow in our own ways and maybe take something away from this whole experience. The island will be completely different. We will be completely different. And my content will probably be very different. But not too different. Obviously, I'm still going to be me, you're still going to be you. And this game will always be just a game. So the island is representative of all of that. Plus, it just sounds like a fun little side story that we can write together in a way. Even though I'm doing most of the talking, you're just listening to me. But I hope that's okay. Because what I truly want to tackle here is the idea of getting over perfectionism. I think as a creative person, we put a lot of importance and we tend to stress over the details because everything needs to be perfect. When we create things or work on anything that's for ourselves, this is from the perspective of somebody who will only do things or see them through if I know that they're going to work. And sometimes you can't be creative that way. You have to let yourself fail and do things that you normally wouldn't do, or take a chance on something even if it's not perfect that very first take. Now I'm gonna be candid, this is my second attempt at recording this video, but this will ultimately be the version that I keep because I think I have a better idea of how I want to go about this. So the way this will work is I'll basically be playing Animal Crossing on a weekly basis. There will be very light editing, probably just to get rid of any long pauses I take, or if I really just want to hone in on a certain situation or aspect of the game. And like I said, this means that I may or may not play off camera depending on the needs of the island or what I want to get across. But more importantly, this is really just for me to unpack my thoughts in audio form. I just thought Animal Crossing would be a very nice, chill backdrop to do it. As the series goes on, we'll obviously adapt and maybe modify some things as needed. Obviously, your feedback is super important, so I appreciate it all the same. So this first video will basically just be a primer, a sort of introduction to what this video series is going to be. So let's move on a little bit. Ursula has a good point here. Pitching your tent for the very first time is pretty difficult. It feels very permanent. A lot of decisions in life are like that. What you need to understand is that even when you settle down and you decide on something, even if it's set in stone, there is always room for change. There's always room for improvement. And, well, luckily in the case of Animal Crossing, we can always just move our tent somewhere else. And I know I'm like being silly by adding commentary to the writing of this game, but I think you can find very unintentional messages in the media that you consume. Even if the writers didn't intend for it to mean all of this mumbo jumbo that I'm like spitting out, I think it's important to stay grounded and think about the little things like that and see how they can apply to like way more complex things like life, and not being afraid of permanent decisions, or big decisions rather. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you'll always have a neighbor or somebody there nearby, hopefully. So I believe when you start this game, they typically match you with one jock type villager. And I forget what the other villager type is, but the important part is the jock type villager is always going to be talking about their physical fitness, their health, and just anything sort of physical related. And I used to sort of like not enjoy those types of villagers. I always thought, you know, that's not me. I'm not really interested in what they have to say. Most of the time it's very like one-dimensional, maybe like lifting weights, etc., etc. But now that I'm in my 30s, physical fitness and health is very important. And the reason I'm being very coy about this is because obviously, like, you know, if I'm just figuring that out now, then like what the hell's wrong with me? But no. The point I'm trying to get across is that it's never too late to realize that like your perspective on something was either very different or sometimes a little wrong. You can sort of write things off as unimportant, or I'll get to it later. But it's also okay to sort of be a little late to the party and realize, you know what? I haven't been giving this enough attention. And I should. And it's okay that I'm doing it now. And I've been, you know, doing a little bit here and there to sort of watch my health, my physical fitness, etc., etc. Luckily, you know, up until this point, nothing too complicated has happened, so I'm very appreciative of that. I've always enjoyed the ambient sounds of this game, which is partly the reason why I chose it as the backdrop for this video series. And to be clear, I haven't chosen a very fancy recording method. In fact, I'm recording the audio and the video together in one, which isn't very smart now that I think about it, but we'll see if that changes going forward. Because for now, I think it's all about taking in the sort of long journey ahead of us. I don't know exactly how long I want these videos to be, but I know that I want them to be impactful. Not every single video is going to do that. In fact, I'll probably do a whole bunch of other videos on my channel that are going to be completely unrelated to this project. But that's what this is, at the end of the day. A project. A journal. A sort of adventure of self-growth and motivation. I'm going to continue streaming on Twitch. I'm going to continue making YouTube videos. I'm going to continue learning about video games. I'm going to continue, is the message here. We should all just continue and keep going, no matter what it is, how difficult it seems. Or even if we feel completely lost and confused about what to do next. I think moving forward is the most important part. Tom Nook brings up a pretty good point. Those of us who have decided on what we're doing first, those of us who have learned lessons in life, maybe a little sooner than others, it would do us good to help each other and lend a hand to those who might still be lost. Sometimes it literally takes you throwing a stick in a random direction and using that as your inspiration. And this game is sort of like my stick. It's just one of my favorite games from childhood. I played the very first one on GameCube. I'll admit there's, you know, a bit of nostalgia behind it. But this video series came up as just a random idea about what I should do with my YouTube channel. And the last time I uploaded a random video, it was just me opening some Pokemon cards because I enjoyed Pokemon cards and wanted an excuse to do that. But I didn't have anything beyond that. I didn't feel like I could keep uploading videos because editing them and thinking about them just takes a lot of time and effort. But now, here I am just playing Animal Crossing and just talking into a microphone with absolutely no idea where I'm gonna go with it. No script, no direction. And that feels very scary to me because I don't know how I'm going to feel about this video after I upload it. Or until I upload it, I should say. Because much like these two villagers here, I'm trying to find the perfect spot for my video. I could easily just write a script, rewrite it 100 times, and just do it over and over again, delete the recording, and start over. But I don't want to do that. I want this to be as messy as possible. In fact, I'm gonna move this guy's position simply because it's too close to the other villager, but also because things don't have to be perfect. I'm just gonna throw this tent somewhere on the opposite side over here. There we have it. So I've realized I'm 25 minutes about into this video or so. We'll see how much editing affects that. But I still have a ways to go before I can save the game. So we're gonna go through this last bit a little haphazardly and talk about a few things that I want to get across for the sake of this video. Obviously, being the very first video, it is going to be very messy and confusing. You're probably wondering, like, where am I going with all of this? Or even if I've made like a cohesive point up until now. It's hard to say, really. But that's what this island is. It's messy, it's new. I have no plans for it. I'm just sort of like picking up these twigs and I'm gonna turn them in and I'm gonna upload this video. And I think it's because it's not a big deal. At least I don't want it to be a big deal. I just want this to be just me and you, the viewer, just sort of playing Animal Crossing together. And I know that's difficult because there's no instant feedback like there would be on a live stream, which is why I didn't want to do this on Twitch. I feel like having chat there with me sort of react to all these tangents wouldn't really be in the spirit of the video. Because I think whenever we think about gathering our thoughts and doing things in an organized manner, we always are going to second guess ourselves. We're going to sometimes self-sabotage and tell ourselves that things aren't going to work out and that you should just quit while you're ahead. But I don't feel like doing that. I think I just want to play this game and talk about the things that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about being creative. I'm passionate about playing games. I'm passionate about making them. I'm passionate about talking about them. And I want my YouTube channel to reflect that. And so, with this video, and all subsequent videos, I hope that I can get that across. And I hope that you're okay with that. And if you're not, that's okay too. But for those of you who are actually interested in this, in both this crazy Animal Crossing adventure and just more YouTube content in general, who knows what kind of videos I even end up making. That's the thing, I'm not entirely sure about that either. But this video, like, just came to me just randomly. I told myself, what if I just played Animal Crossing and rambled for half an hour? And that was it. That was the idea. And a lot of the people who helped me with all of this said to me, all right, what do you plan on doing? What's the idea? What's the motive here? And I think now that I've been sort of sitting here recording for however long, I think I've decided that, like, YouTube, this island, this channel, is my own little personal piece of me, sort of like the authentic me, my brand, Metalcorewolf, which I'll get into the origin of that in another video. See, I've already got future videos planned. But I want this island and this channel to simply be a getaway from all the other projects I have in mind. All these other ideas that I have for all sorts of things. And have it just be that. Nothing more, nothing less. Are you okay with YouTube? Am I okay with YouTube? I'd say yes. What do I want to say to YouTube? I guess a nice howdy. That feels very representative. Howdy YouTube. I'm Metalcorewolf. And you're watching my Animal Crossing journal. Where we're going to see the island change. We're gonna see it grow. Villagers will come and go. The seasons will change. And life will keep moving forward. And we have pears, if that means anything to you. Cheers to that. Well, I'd say this is a better place than any to sort of bring this to a natural end. It felt very chaotic, both at the beginning and the middle and the end. The whole thing was a mess, but I think getting to this screen, at least, has brought me a sense of reassurance that despite what I decide to do going forward, I do intend on seeing this through all the way. It's very important to me. It's very important to the work that I do. It means a lot that we motivate each other to do these sorts of things. And so the next time you'll see me is hopefully a week from now, where I upload the second episode of this series. And we'll keep talking about other sorts of things. Anything at all. And that's all that should matter. So I hope this video made any sense to you. And I hope you're excited just as much as I am about the future of this YouTube channel, this YouTube island, and just all Metalcorewolf related things in general. So with that, I bid you adieu. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.